Thanks for having me here today. These are definitely historic times. If we look at the history of Israel, and I used to teach evolution of warfare and historical prominence at Georgia Tech and Morehouse, and in World War II, and the sacrifice that was made to establish a country that was essentially defunct, a language that had become extinct, a people that were scattered, and to see what happened that rewrote history. As a matter of fact, this June, I'll be jumping into Normandy, France, out of the same C-47s that we jumped in 80 years ago. Jumped in the same uniforms that they jumped in. And I'll say, whether it be the Holocaust survivors or those veterans that jumped in 80 years ago, cherish them because they're almost all gone. The youngest people that jumped in are around 100 years old now. Reflect on that. Realize that there was a sacrifice that was made by many, and there were people that suffered immensely that are still not recognized. These are truly historical times, and I want to reflect on the evolution, whether it be the wars, the alliances that have been formed and broken. When I went in '94 to Entebbe, Uganda, and saw the same airfield that was shot up during an amazing raid, and reflected on what Israel has been able to accomplish, sometimes by itself, standing alone against its enemies, but always with a bigger shadow. And I want to address that also because it's interesting. So many people want to say we can divest from Israel. We can become independent. We can become popular amongst the world. But they forget that whether it be Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, Iran, any of our other enemies in that area, when they talk about Israel being the little Satan, it is always linked to the big Satan, which is the United States. We are forever linked. If you look at what the United Nations is doing right now and who they are against, they're not just against Jews, they're not just against Israel, they're against America. This is a real problem when you see what they're doing for resolutions and warnings against a people. More against Israel than any other country, every other country combined. And how many times have they done that against the terrorists who would kill babies, rape women, invade a country at peace? None. These are unprecedented times. If you look at what's happening on colleges, campuses around America, it's never happened before. Not the beginning of Israel as we know it in the contemporary sense, and never since until this year. What's changed? What's happened to America? How have we lost our way? And why don't these students actually know what they're actually talking about? I don't know if you saw it recently. I just recently saw the TikTok where somebody's interviewing these kids, and they're like, you keep on chanting, the river to the sea. What river and what sea? They have no idea. What is the charter of Hamas? They don't know. What is their main goal? What is Hamas and Hezbollah trying to achieve? They don't know. And this is a dangerous thing right now when you have tens of thousands of students out there thinking that they know what they're talking about, thinking that they're talking about peace and love when they're actually propagating just the opposite. These are dangerous times. If we don't pick our allies wisely, it won't just hurt Israel. It won't just hurt Jews. It will hurt the United States and all of our allies and all those people that do want to live in peace. We have to educate. We can't hate back. Whether you talk about Gandhi or Martin Luther King or Jesus Christ or anybody else you want to talk about who brought peace or at least preached peace, it starts with a message of education, of truth, of justice, of love. It starts with making sure that students actually get a message. That's why we're going after Columbia and its accreditation. Why? Because when you start supporting terrorist organizations and propagating them as if there's something good, we need to educate them and we need to actually take away their accreditation. And not to get overly political, but we have a letter right now sitting on the president's desk with over 100 congressmen signed on from both parties, demanding that what we voted for, which is to support Israel with real arms, with real money, with real support, with real backing in the one democracy we can rely on as friends into the future, that we give them the things that we promised them. Moving forward, that we are good friends, we are good allies, and we will be with you lockstep to the end of time. These are troubling times, but we can do this together, and I guarantee you have many friends that you don't even know about, not only in Congress, all over D.C., all over America, and all over the world. We just need to speak up, and we need to bring it. God bless you, and Semper Fidelis.